Hey, Dennis and I are going through a lot of stuff. Well, this is report number 65, and we're going back to those horrible days of World War II. This report of Jimmy Doolittle, General Doolittle, was the very first one in the early months of World War II. He managed to strike a strong psychological blow to the Japanese by actually bombing Tokyo. We found out last week that he was convinced that it was possible to take off in a fully loaded B-25 bomber from the deck of a carrier. I'm going to say that again. General Jimmy Doolittle was convinced it was possible to take off in a fully loaded B-25 bomber from the deck of a carrier. Well, the mission was a success. The Japanese quickly learned in a single 30-second raid that they were not safe at home. We know that Doolittle and his men then kept flying into friendly territory, China, just as their planes were running out of gas. Jimmy, slow down. Slow down. I hope Dennis provided some more facts than the ones you just presented. I remember all that from last week. Well, okay, I do too. You ask, where is the rest of the story? Well, as always, I'm glad you asked. Not everyone in Doolittle's raiding party had an easy time surviving. A few were captured by the Japanese. One crew flew into Russia and was imprisoned for a time. Others were not rescued for weeks, and they had to live on seagulls to survive. They would capture these seagulls and kill them and eat them. Partners, you can't imagine this, but wait till you hear our Christmas story. Doolittle, though, was the first real hero of the war. President Roosevelt elevated him to the rank of general, bypassing the rank of full colonel. So, Jimmy, where is this going? Well, partners, here's where it's going. Forgive me again for just kind of bouncing around, but this is Christmas season, and give me that little luxury of just kind of playing around. Among all of this country's true heroes, Jimmy Doolittle was among the most loved and most respected. He was honored during his life and was still a national hero when he died of a stroke in 1993 at the age of 96. There was never any scandal connected with General Jimmy Doolittle. He may have been one of the purest heroes this country has ever had. By the way, the last surviving member of the Doolittle team that bombed Tokyo is still alive. Yes, he's 103 years old, and he is Major Richard Cole, C-O-L-E. Oh, and one other thing, Cole was sitting in the right-hand seat of the first bomber that took off from the deck of the USS Hornet that early morning in 1942. He was the co-pilot. He must have been nervous. Yeah, I'm sure he was nervous, but the man sitting in the left seat was General Doolittle. Can you imagine that? He's the man who performed that miracle. And here's something else to be fit to put in right here. Jimmy Doolittle and his crew parachuted into a rice paddy in China, and they were helped to safety by a group of young Chinese men. That group's leader was an American intelligence officer named John Birch. He died during the final days of World War II, but he had a reputation for being a true patriot and a strong anti-communist. One of the nation's most conservative political movements in American history was named for this man, John Birch, the John Birch Society. Yes, the man who rescued General Jimmy Doolittle was John Birch. And so this completes the story of the man who performed miracles, General Jimmy Doolittle. Okay, partners, you know the drill. Look up there at our 3 X's over to the right, and the one on the farthest side has that big old red X. All you do is just click on that red X, and you automatically go right back to my report page. There's so much to talk about. Don't do anything else, though, and you immediately return to the report page, like I said, for the remainder of this week's comments. as always, magic how computers work. Dennis, General Jimmy Doolittle truly is one of America's greatest heroes, whose imagination did so much to help shorten the war of World War II. You think you are nervous? I am, yes, okay. He helped shorten and win World War II. How on earth can these weekly stories just keep getting better and better? Well, Dinkster, as I call him, your research does the trick for us. So we all say thank you for your efforts and creativity. Merry Christmas, I can say that again. It's not quite here yet, but it will be very shortly. And we've got another one that's going to really be happy for you when you hear the story of the Christmas story and how it parallels in another way with General Jimmy Doolittle. Going in for a fitting. I love you guys. Partners, thank you so much. And appreciate your feedback. Keep sending things to me. I love you all so much. Go get 'em, Tigers!